Hi friends, Thunder Ridge Homestead here. I'm sorry I have been really bad about getting out updates and getting some videos on, but we've just been so busy here, and I just haven't been filming. I probably should have been, but I haven't been. And if you haven't seen my porch project, we've got our porch taken down and it is ready to go. We've got a few more things to do before we can get a new porch on, but mainly we're playing a waiting game right now. All the construction companies are backed up beyond hope, and it's going to be months and months before we can get something built or repaired on our house. We're in a pretty good state right now. We don't have anything really leaking in per se much, but it's just you just want to get it over with and done with, but that's just not in the cards this year with all the stuff going on in the world. Anyway, I have a teenager that I hire from time to time from our church, and she came to work for me last Wednesday. She's a homeschooler, so that does not interfere with her homeschool schedule. She can work around stuff like me, and we've been hiring her from time to time to help around the house, you know, around here, things that I can't do with my arthritis and things that my husband can't do because of his knee and all of that stuff. So we've been, you know, having to hire and help, and that's kind of been ongoing. We've done that ever since we've moved in here. I'll hire her for a day here or there, or a day here or there. At first I had her brother working for me sometimes just as help around the house and around the farm. But anyway, what I wanted to show you was she came on Tuesday, and we spent pretty much the whole day. I say we. I followed her around, told her what I wanted to do, and handed her tools. And she pretty much worked like a dog. I mean, that is the hardest working kid ever. I'm going to respect her privacy by not putting her on here or anything, but she's just an excellent worker. She's 15 years old and just really does a lot. So what I wanted to show you is what she got accomplished. She's supposed to come back again tomorrow, and we're going to try to do some more stuff just to get things ready for winter. We're trying to get the property cleaned up. We're trying to get the barn stripped out and get ready for winter time. I've got to get the turkey pen cleaned, mulch moved around. I realize it's just August, but it's the end of August, and there's just a lot of tasks that this summer in particular have just been let go. I mean, it's just sad. So I will show you what she got accomplished. I don't know if you guys have seen the before of this. But this whole fence line was just a giant weed patch. And on Tuesday, my little friend came and she cleared this whole fence line all the way down. And right here is a pile of insulated SIPS panels that I'm going to be trying to reuse on the farm that came out of our sun porch. And this pile is window panes and things like that I'm going to try to resell. Just somebody else can make use of them. There's no sense in putting them in a dumpster, so that's what that pile is. Building materials that need to be removed. But what I want to focus on is that little brush pile right there. And I say little brush pile, that is a huge brush pile. That's what she got from cleaning out her fence row. And we've still got more. We're gonna work on I've got a lilac hedge across the front. We've got elderberries and stuff like that, and that stuff still needs to be cleaned out. But my little friend did a wonderful job. I'm gonna take you down here and show you a little bit more of what we got accomplished. Alright. I think, I'll get the camera to quit getting sun in it. I think that this little indicator here is a little bit better of a read as to how much brush is really in this pile. Whoops, sorry. Can you guys see this? If I stand next to it, this is a good 4.5, maybe 5 feet tall in places, because we're kind of on a hillside, and I bet it is 8 foot wide and 10 feet long at least. So that's a huge pile of work, and that was a single day. But this is kind of what I wanted to come down here and share with you guys to show you. It's a part of my homestead that I have not shared very much of. See if you can see this. As you can see, this is my driveway, and we've got this real steep hill. This is the neighbor's house, and this is a very steep grade of hill right here, and it's just a pain in the butt to try to mow it. And so what I'm trying to accomplish here is, this is a little bit of a food forest area, if you will. As you can see, we've got some hostas planted and started, and I've got a few food trees. This first one right there is a hazelnut that is planted. Or filbert is another name for it. I planted that one, and I also planted a second one, but it died. So I've probably need to get a second tree replaced and replace that so we have good cross-pollination, but I haven't replaced it yet. And then we have this tree right, so I can see it on this thing, this tree right here, and then there's like one there and one there. And what those are is bush cherries. So they are a dwarf cherry. They're very sour, and we've had them before at our other house. They produced really good cherries. I believe the variety on this, let me check. I believe that these are Hanson bush cherries, and they will only get, at the most like 8 feet tall, something like that. I doubt if they'll get that big, truthfully, in this location. But they're a very small cherry, but they're good for like jams and jellies and things like that. I'm hoping in the future to be able to get enough plantings on this hill of like hostas. The plan is to put lilies, possibly mint. What I want is things that are going to take the hill over, choke out the weeds, and be invasive enough to hold their own as an underplanting under these trees. Here is the hazelnut again, and this tree, I believe, is a wild planted, as in bird did it, mulberry, and so far I haven't cut it down. I'm debating as to whether I just want to leave it there or not. I might. One can never tell. Anyway, that's my little food forest hill that I'm working on. And over here is more of this hedge, the lilac hedge, and we're going to start working on it probably tomorrow at some point when she comes back. So what we're going to do with the lilac hedge is we're going to go through, and some of the wood in this has gotten like really big and old, and they actually bloom better on young wood. So about every 3 years or so you need to go in, and if there's any branches that are bigger around than your wrist, they need to be removed. This is an old-fashioned lilac, so it'll just sucker and make more babies and fill in our gaps. Okay, as you can see from this angle, the lilac hedge comes across here, and I planted it originally because As you can tell, we live on a highway and we have a lot of road noise, and if you plant shrubs and things like that, it helps to dampen the road noise. Eventually, I would like to plant like a secondary row on the inside of that, of maybe like butterfly bushes or something. I don't know yet, but something to kind of help dampen the sound in the summertime when you're outside trying to enjoy the property. The big gap is because we had to have a new water line put in, and so they had to come in with heavy machinery and basically destroyed some of my hedge, which, you know, it happens. The other thing I want to bring your attention to in this front yard is this tree. Let's see how big this little bugger is. This is probably, I don't know, 80 foot maybe. It's a silver maple, and it is, as you can tell, in pretty rough shape. Silver maples are a pretty interesting tree. They are planted a lot in the suburbs because they grow really quickly and they provide shade, and they do a good job of it. According to my cousin, who has a tree trimming business, they don't live very long. So, you know, this is not a tree that's going to be 100 years old ever. They, you know, start fading when they're about 35 years old, he said, and then some of them might live a little longer than that. But, you know, this is never going to make a 100-year-old tree. The problem is the silver maple is a softwood, and because it's such a softwood, it develops holes. This tree is full of squirrel holes in houses and homes. And since we've already had storm damage from the neighbor's tree, which was over there, the end's not there anymore, my husband and I made the decision that we're going to have this tree removed also, just for safety's sake. It would be foolish to do a whole bunch of repairs to this house and then end up with another tree on top of it. So we're having that one taken down. It was supposed to be down already. However, we have had rain by the buckets. We had 11 inches of rain here in July this year. And they're going to have to come up this hill with their bucket truck in order to get this tree cut down. And they really couldn't do it. It was just too muddy and too sloppy, without tearing up the whole yard, that is. We finally dried out to the point where I believe they'd be able to come and take care of the tree. And I called my tree service people and asked them, you know, what their time estimate was on it. And the company we use is a family-owned company. And lo and behold, their daughter had the coronavirus. She's 21 years old, and she was infected. And fortunately, she's doing well. You know, she's young and healthy, so her symptoms haven't been, you know, anything that she had to be hospitalized for. But they have had to be in quarantine. And, you know, the mother said that, you know, she was just talking about how even a mild case of the coronavirus, that she has been so sick. And so, you know, the family's been being real careful. They don't want to catch it. So far, that she's the only member of the family that has caught it, which is interesting because other members of the family are like in their 50s and stuff like that, and even have respiratory problems and haven't caught it yet. And that's why we still don't have our tree down. So I would much rather their family get better and everything be well, and we'll just have to wait a while on the tree removal. What a difference. What a difference. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a little update. We're not dead, but we have just been extremely busy, and it's really not been homesteading stuff. It's been, you know, trying to recover from the storm stuff and trying to catch up for chores undone stuff, and, you know, it's just constant street noise. But, you know, that's living at the edge of the city. That's what happens. You know, and I do live fairly close to town, so, you know, we get all the highway run. It's been crazy. It's been real. We'll try to get back to the homesteading videos as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, folks. See you in a bit.